I'm honored to be here in the Great Bono East region, the region that has given me my beautiful wife, Lordina. And I bring you warm greetings from your daughter, your sister, Mrs. Lordina Mahama, and also from my Vice President, Jane Nana Opoku-Ajimai, who returned to the country safely. She's in very good health. She actually started working from Monday. She's returned to her full duties. My visit today is not simply ceremonial, but it is one of gratitude, reflection, and a renewed commitment to duty. I've returned to my in-laws to say thank you to you for your overwhelming support in the 2024 general elections. You stood strongly behind me. You voted for the reset agenda. You voted for truth. You voted for unity, and you voted for development.
Honorable Kofi Ntefuli, the only treasurer among treasurer, Yedamwase. Akonano Ekoye, Amtomasayaki, and the Kofi Ntefuli, Aba. Yedamwase, but if there's a Lutuba, Yaminstamo, Yedasamo, and Chef. You can't know the Bible. You can't form. You can't make us here. Who be here for home? Now I'm not going to make a young move at the hall. Am I? Because enter. You have a young man. You have trained no more. Remember, I will do. Mama, Papa, is a little baby. NDC. I'm a little papa. I'm in trouble.
for me, for a way of Mantamimu. Ya Buja Tata, Etemo, Ubiajina Pujay, Ente, Ghana Mapedi, Abekayansa. Said a Macano, Yanembre, Inti Mapeniba. You might be a so straight. Me Mahasa, dear me, be a Metropolitan. Inti me from our Bahana said, Oka member of the Bibria, Yadia, Mimasa Quino. Sir, instructions are many every presidency. Mradisa, the Abacon straight. My penny drew her pet. Yena Bejina and I saw na Wapa. Na konwa nim ewo desi ha na onyaduru na konwa nim pe na ye nyina gyina ye nan so na yabo yasra jom the national anthem na ye wia pe na Ghana mapeni edi na ni betrim na wakọ eni na nanom akodichia na nanom ne adechia yabo janata ye hia no na fe ye wia na ye ba Bible open prayer. Now your friend Reverend Richard K. Kuma now Babebo Empire and your mind. Now the area my friend Unity cultural troop. Yeah, working Tapoha. Now maybe Diablo Kakra. Now the area my friend Bono East Mountain so for no your friend President. Bono is Regional House of Chiefs. Nana also said your Tosumi and San. Nana Eddie Aquaba and Sem. Eddie Amai. Nafe Regional Chief Imam. Also Kakra or Wono na for the Atuja Amai. Mampani Kasavi na Yasaya Jina and I so na Yaboy Yasrajum, the national anthem. Nafi Mampani Asai Kona Makokrana Nanom Nafi Yadijumadi Nina by me. Eti Mampani drew a Pesana Yajumadino Ebekon and Wano and Yamai. Mahama has just joined us. Let's be on our feet to show respect to the #1 gentleman of the land, His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. He has just arrived. Obia empe babi nyina na Ghana mampani sabre wabedu Ira John Dramani Mahama. Ghana mampani Odimonyamfo John Dramani Mahama. Sabre wasifom yenyina bejina ya nanso. Yenyina bejina ya nanso the national anthem. Ye bejina ya nanso na ya boy Yasra John Bra mampani ejina na konwa nim ewo desi so. Thank you very much. His Excellency the President will proceed to exchange present list with Nananama and the good people of Bono East. The Bono East Regional Minister, Honorable Francis Owusu-Antwi, will lead the President to exchange pleasantries with the chiefs and people of the region. Sabre Ghana Mampani Yabasre Ma Obia Ejida Animo Abaya Krachefo Mrashebejafo Enyina Baby Ghana Mampani Anim Ombedinachi na Bono East Mantamimo Adi Nchia Ghana Mampani Ewaye Mantamimo Obeda Nensefo Nempontafo Neyerenom Obeda Yenyina Se Ewo Ababa Yetu Ye 2024 election na Yemana 100% Ewo Bono East region na Eno Ekwaye Ema Oti Kunima Ebi NC Ewo Ghana Abakosemo Ghana Mampani wo ha na Oba na Onina Nanom Abedi Nchia na Wada Mwasi Edi Nasi Pesie Edi Amana Nanom Edi Nasi Pesie Ama Adishe One media persona na wa ukuta mobile phone na o de combine Ghana map ni bebra ye penisa oye abre owo ye fifi ya oba na onene nkwotafo na sinom ne yerenom ene omo ka ho nyina abedi ntia na wada ya se 2024 abato Bono East ye kira ye bobre ye man 100% ewo man kamimu enti Ghana mapeni ebana obedasia na odi za obana obedayase ye to aba boom edemano na ekaho na ema utimi form the next
executives and regional council of elders of the National Democratic Congress, government appointees and former government appointees, heads of departments, government departments, heads of security services, the clergy and our imams, representatives of invited organizations, our friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters. I'm honored to be here in the great Bono East region, the region that has given me my beautiful wife, Lordina. And I bring you warm greetings from your daughter, your sister, Mrs. Lordina Mahama, and also from my Vice President, Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, who returned to the country safely. She's in very good health. She actually started working from Monday. She's returned to her full duties. My visit today is not simply ceremonial, but it is one of gratitude, reflection, and a renewed commitment to duty. I've returned to my in-laws to say thank you to you for your overwhelming support in the 2024 general elections. You stood strongly behind me. You voted for the reset agenda. You voted for truth. You voted for unity. And you voted for development. And today I return with a solemn promise that I will not betray your faith in me. Your belief in our vision of building the Ghana we want together is one grounded in the 2024 NDC People's Manifesto. And this is what has brought us here. And your mandate is what now guides our every step as we begin the journey of resetting Ghana. Let me acknowledge our traditional leaders for the wisdom and stability they continue to offer. And Nananom, I want to say Ayiko to all of you. During the campaign, you received me warmly in your palaces. And your good advice, your counsel is part of what was responsible for the great victory that we chalked in the elections of 2024. To the youth of Bono East, my brothers-in-law, sisters-in-law, who drove the campaign with creativity and energy, and to our queen mothers and our mothers and sisters who joined us and went door to door, organizing, praying, and persuading, and especially to our polling agents and our party executives and volunteers. You are the true heroes of this victory that we chalked in the election. Our government has started in earnest, and we have taken some of the sons and daughters of this region to contribute to the reset agenda. Notable among them are the Honorable Elizabeth Ofoso-Jare, who is the Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, and the Honorable Emmanuel Kojo Ajekum, who is the Minister of State in charge of special initiatives. We also have serving in other capacities people like Dr. Isaac Adaipsa, who's Chief Executive Officer of the Gratis Foundation, Mr. Stephen Akwa, who is Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Tree Crop Development Authority, Ms. Vivian Asante-Usu is Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Maslock, Mr. Mohamed Masaoud is Deputy Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Heavy Equipment Limited, and Mr. Philip Opong Amponsa is Deputy Chief Executive of the Ghana Integrated Iron and Steel Development Corporation. In addition, several others from this region are rendering valuable service to our reset agenda on governing councils and boards. And this includes Mr. John Owusu Ajiman, lawyer, Mr. Moses Okra, Mr. Ernest Ameyao, Ms. Patience Dakwa, Mr. Ahmed Isa, Nana Yeboah Kokwa, and Nana Akosua Amobia II. Their commitment, excellence, and patriotism reflects the region's great promise and potential, and that of Ghana. And I thank you for believing that Ghana can rise again. When we assumed office in January 2025, the state of our economy was in dire straits. We inherited an economy with high inflation, unsustainable debt, a weakening currency, mass unemployment, and widespread despondency. But we did not spend time lamenting and pointing fingers at others. We chose instead to act, and to act decisively. In March, our administration presented the 2025 budget statement and economic policy to Parliament. It was anchored on the principles of fiscal discipline, reprioritization of spending, and the urgent need to restore macroeconomic stability. We trimmed non-essential expenditure and redirected resources to national priorities outlined in the NDC manifesto, and mainly in the area of agriculture, education, infrastructure, health, and jobs. Today I'm pleased to report to you from Kintampo in the Bono East region that our currency, the cedi, is stabilizing. Inflation is gradually declining. Investor confidence in our economy is returning, and Ghanaians are beginning to feel a slow but steady relief when they go to the market. I commend the Minister for Finance and the Governor of Bank of Ghana and their respective teams for their dedication and coordination in managing this economic turnaround. And I want to take the opportunity to thank the GPRTU and the various drivers' unions for reducing transport fares to bring relief to Ghanaians from the hardship they were facing. Infrastructure is central to development, and the Bono East region will not be left behind. Under the Big Push agenda, Cabinet is finalizing approval for major infrastructural projects, many of which are earmarked for this region. And I want to say that under the Big Push, we are prioritizing roads because the state of our roads is in a very deplorable condition. So for the first year, the Minister of Finance has provided almost 15 billion cedis to be invested in improving our road network across the whole of the country. As I said, we are focusing particularly on roads that are critical for agriculture, trade, and access to essential services. In the Bono East region, the roads that we are targeting include the Asweye-Mesidan Road, the Ofuman to Wenchi Road, the Sunyani to Nkoranza Road, the Techiman-Wenchi Road, the Atebubu-Kajeji Road, and then also to complete the Kintampo to Prang Road, the Ejura to Atebubu Road, and Busunya to Atebubu Road. There are other roads that we'll also be working on that are not yet included on this list. These roads, when completed, will open up the region, improve market access for farmers, and reduce travel time and transport costs. As stated in the NDC 2024 manifesto, we're also committed to redesigning and constructing outer ring roads in major cities across the country. The outer ring roads will target cities like Accra, Kumasi, Tamale, Takrady, Sunyani, and Techiman. For Techiman, which is a major transit point on the N10 highway, work has begun to open up the proposed 54-kilometer outer ring road. The Department of Urban Roads has initiated engineering surveys and design works to prepare the way for full construction to begin. This project will decongest the central business district of Techiman and enhance road safety for residents and travelers alike. The ring road would allow the big, heavily loaded trucks that are going to Burkina Faso and other northern destinations, instead of passing through the center of Techiman, they'll use the outer ring road and continue on their journey. Education remains one of the top pillars of our national transformation, and our vision is to ensure that no child, regardless of their background or ability, is left behind. In the Bono East, our target in education and the initiatives we shall pursue include completion of all abandoned E-blocks, some of which are located in this region. The absorption of first-year academic admission fees for all students entering public tertiary institutions. And free tertiary education for all persons with disability. Furthermore, we're working closely with the Bono East Regional Coordinating Council, the Lands Commission, and the Techiman Traditional Council to establish a technical university in Techiman. A site has already been selected at Forikrum. In addition, plans are underway for the establishment of the University of Health and Life Sciences here in Kintampo. We believe that technical education is essential for industrial growth and job creation. And with these institutions, we aim to bridge the skills gap and create opportunities for the youth of the region. And on the issue of Alawa, thank you. I knew this is the response Alawa is going to trigger. Let me assure you that the minister has made adequate provision in the budget for the payment of allowances. And the allowances will be paid from January. And so you'll get the arrears. When we pay the allowances, you'll receive the arrears. But what has delayed it is that the minister is putting in a system so that you'll be paid through the controller and accountant general, so that every month when workers receive their salaries, trainees will also receive their allowances. So when that is done, you receive your allowances every month, and then we'll pay you the arrears from January until the time you started receiving the allowances. My brothers and sisters, Bono East is the breadbasket of Ghana, and it is no coincidence that we chose this region to launch the Feed Ghana program on 12 April 2025. The program is designed to make agriculture a viable, modern and youth-friendly economic activity, and therefore under it we're going to invest in small-scale irrigation systems for year-round farming. We're going to provide subsidized fertilizers, improved seeds, and mechanization for farmers to increase their productivity. We're going to provide warehouses and cold chain infrastructure to reduce post-harvest losses. And we'll establish farmer service centers. And one of the first locations that has been selected for a farmer service center is Atebubu in the Bono East region. We also are liaising with a private sector investor to revamp the cashew processing factory, which is located in Chobodom in the Bono East region. Ladies and gentlemen, agriculture is not just a way of life, it is the pathway to prosperity. And under our agriculture for wealth creation agenda, we are determined to unlock the full potential of this region. As we prepare Ghana's next medium-term development program, 2026 to 2029, I urge all our MMDCs to take leadership in facilitating inclusive consultation. The Minister of Finance is about to release the first quarter of the District Assembly's Common Fund. And as I said, and the Minister said, 80% of the money accruing in the fund is going to go directly to the regions for you to decide how to use it. So MMDCs, you have no excuse. You are going to get your full money. We're sending you the guidelines. Cabinet approved it at the last cabinet meeting to show you how the money has to be disbursed. And we're going to use it as your key performance indicators. Every year, we will see what you've done with the District Assembly's Common Fund, and based on that, we'll decide whether you stay or you go. Development cannot thrive without security. We are aware of the challenges in the eastern corridor of Bono East, particularly around the Atebobo Amanten area, Sene East and West, and the Pru districts. Highway robbery and armed robbery has become rampant. In response, I have directed the Minister for Interior and the Inspector General of Police to deploy additional security personnel to those areas where robbery has become rampant. We will also provide the police with patrol vehicles and communication equipment so that they can keep you safe. We're also going to strengthen community policing and intelligence gathering in order that we can reduce the incidence of armed robbery. Peace is not the absence of conflict, it is the presence of justice and protection, and we will not rest until every community in Bono East feels safe and secure. This year, on 1st July, we will hold a National Day of Prayer and Thanksgiving. This day will be observed by both Muslims and Christians. The importance of this day is not lost on us because it's the day on which Ghana gained full independence from the British Empire. That is our Republic Day. And so on that day, all of us will pray and give thanks to God for the favor He has done to us. We fulfilled our promise of adding an additional day to the Eid al-Fitr holiday of our Muslim brothers and sisters. The bill to amend the Holiday Act in order to make that holiday permanent is ready for Parliament. And so from next year, it will not be by executive instrument, it will be automatically an act of Parliament that makes that day a holiday. We also reduced the fare for carrying out the Hajj pilgrimage. Yesterday, the last aircraft airlifted our pilgrims to Mecca, and we reduced the fares from 75,000 to 62,000 cedis. And I can foresee that with the performance of the cedi, because at the time we started paying for the Hajj, the cedi was at 15.5 cedis to $1. And so the fare that we came up with for the $4,000 that it cost to do the Hajj came to 62,000. Next year, if you do a calculation where the cedi is currently at 10.5, it means that next year the fare for Hajj will probably go below 5,000 Ghana cedis. Sorry, 50,000 Ghana cedis. And so if the cedi keeps performing the way it is and being an abrantier the way it is, it will give more relief to our brothers and sisters who will decide to embark on the Hajj. So in conclusion, I wish to assure you, my brothers and sisters, that Ghana will work again. Ladies and gentlemen, I returned to the presidency to lead. I returned to the presidency to rebuild our country. I returned to the presidency to restore our dignity. And I returned to the presidency to establish my legacy. I will work to the best of my ability for my fellow Ghanaians and make sure that the standard we set will be a standard that all governments coming after us will not go below that standard. Together, we have started the reset agenda, and the signs of progress are visible. But the road ahead requires us to be united, it requires us to sacrifice, and it calls for continued trust in leadership. Let us not be discouraged by the size of the task before us. Let us be energized by the greatness of our mission to build a Ghana that works for all of us and not just a few of our citizens. I'm here because you believed in me and you believe that Ghana, our dear country, can rise again. And I assure you, our country, Ghana, shall rise and become the envy of Africa. May God bless my in-laws, the Bono East region. May God bless our great Republic, Ghana, and make our nation great and strong. I thank you very much.
Otu go bi ese wa. Adi taji ani wa.